familysearch.org. So let me show you guys around this a little bit here. I'm going to go ahead and log in. Again, this can be found at familysearch.org. It's free, and I'm just going to log in here real quickly. Be a bad time to forget my password. Hopefully this works. There we go. Okay, so from a familysearch.org, what I want to ultimately get to is show you the family tree functionality, and we talked a little bit in the earlier video about the importance of sources, etc. And you can actually, you can actually look at the sourcing of the family tree information that's come from folks, genealogists, amateur genealogists all over the place. So I'll show you that here in a moment. But you know, it's a fairly good, fairly robust site. You've got you notice here some of the folks I've been looking at. This gentleman right here, Earl Van Meter Long, was my great grandfather. I think I told you a moment ago that my grandfather Bill met a woman at University of Texas. Well, this was her father, Earl Van Meter Long. Was a really interesting guy. Played football and baseball at Harvard, and actually ended up being the head football coach at the University of Richmond, and also at what is now Wichita State. So it's kind of an interesting guy. But that's not the purpose of this. Let's talk a little bit about family tree. So what you see here is, and I'm going to go back to, let's see here. I'm actually going to go to my tree here. So there's information about me, and here is, I'm just going to go do four generations at the moment. So here you've got, I think it's really a cool looking interface, and I think it's that visually very easy for me, being a visual type of a person, to be able to quickly see. You know, at this particular level, I've got, here's Walter Gabriel Swayze, he died in the Great Flu Epidemic, right? But all the way around, Earl Van Meter Long, we talked about the strong man of Harvard, they called him, who ended up being head football coach at Wichita State. But all the way around here, here's my mother, my father, etc. And here's my wife. I can actually go to hers and show you her Native American ancestry if I wanted to. But I just found this really interesting. So I'm actually going to expand the fan chart here a little bit. Hopefully we'll be able to fit this in. Let me see if I can make it smaller. But what you have here, if you'll notice, I've got going all the way out here to Gabriel Swayze, right? And I can actually click here and open up Gabriel Swayze's fan chart from there up. But just a really quick and easy way to be able to see, you know, all your ancestors here in one particular view. And what I was talking about before was, it's pretty slick. You've got the ability to go by birth country, right? I don't know how many folks there are in the United States who open their fan chart like this and see that everybody's from the United States. I don't have any, at least according to this, anybody who's immigrated since, you know, let's take a look at Alsa Pace here. You know, 1796. So I just think it's interesting. But if you've got, you know, ancestors from France or from other places or whatever, they will show up in here depending upon how good the data is. But I really like this, and I want to show you guys this. This is what this has is, now remember, all of this information is, you know, this is basically powered by amateurs or hobbyists, but you have the ability to fairly quickly tell at a glance, you know, how many sources or what type of attestation is out there, you know, for just at a quick view. You got all kinds of other views in here as well, whether there's stories associated with people or photos, etc. But I just really find this an interesting tool. So this is FamilySearch.org. Just for the fun of it here, I'm going to go a little bit further into the Swayze line here. Let's look at Gabriel Swayze's fan chart out from here. And you'll see we've got Richard, we've got Samuel Swayze, Joseph, John Swayze, and Catherine King. And then some of this, I find this, I'm not entirely convinced, although I think the real Jim Swayze get upset with me since he presented on it a year or two ago. But I'm entirely convinced this wasn't just one guy who came over with his aunt and uncle. But subject for another day. But that's about it. This is the, again, FamilySearch.org, the fan chart. I think it's pretty interesting information, and hopefully it helps you. So thanks a lot for having me. Hope everybody has a great weekend.